How's it going, everybody? Andy McCullough from the Los Angeles Times here with Bill Plaschke and Dylan Hernandez, also of the Los Angeles Times. And as Dylan told you last week, it is over. The Dodgers have won the NLCS.
But as Andy told you last week, Brewers in 7, and guess what? He may have a chance to get that right.
So all three of us made predictions, and only one of us still has a prediction alive on the table. Is that right? You had Dodgers in
5.
Okay, you had Dodgers in
4.
Right, so we're going to play Game 7 tomorrow between the Brewers and Dodgers.
It's not Game 7. It's what I said in my column. Game Freaky 7. That's what it is. That's how they're looking at it. How could this happen? Tell me, how could this happen? They came in here with all this momentum. How could this happen?
Because if the 2018 Dodgers could force this series to go to Game 8, they would. I mean, they just man, watching them on a day-to-day basis as a Dodgers fan must be exceedingly frustrating. The offense was not there tonight. Hyun-Jin Ryu had a brutal evening, and I was just curious, Dylan. I know you were writing about the idea of taking Ryu out earlier, maybe being a little more aggressive. How did you end up coming down on that, or what did you think kind of going through those first couple innings?
I mean, obviously the results are going to be judge and jury here. They win Game 7. Everything he did tonight's going to tonight's going to be justified. I'm just not. I mean, you guys, right? We've covered sports for forever. I don't like this idea of kind of basically just giving up on a game when there's 8 innings left, 7 innings left, and I kind of do think that 5th run did seem to be a backbreaker of sorts, because I like the at-bats in the first 2 innings. They had guys in the corner in the second inning. First inning, obviously the home run by Freese. The other guys weren't chasing, and I kind of think that last run there kind of changed something a little bit, and maybe it plays out the same way. That's what Dave says. Look, right? If I go out and make all these changes and we only score 2 runs, well, then I'm the idiot.
Right, and and that's kind of what they ran into in Game 3 in the World Series last year, where Darvish tanked. He used all his good guys, and they were all gassed later in the series.
Yeah, and my thing, I guess, is just kind of that. We talk about kind of the Dodgers in this 2018 season, how it's kind of been stop and go, and they never really quite, And I think part of that is kind of in the decision making. There is this idea, hey, we're more talented. If we play out, and you have a bigger sample size, talent is eventually going to win out, and I kind of get that. At the same time, to me, aggressiveness has always been a trademark of Dave Roberts. Right. I would have liked to have seen it. That said, again, let's wait till tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow they're going to have a chance to be aggressive, but they also have their guy on the mound, Walker Buehler.
Yeah, we have. The Dodgers are in a tough spot tomorrow. Yeah. It's the toughest climb of the season. They have Walker Buehler, who's been their ace since August, but has about a 5 ERA in October, 2 tough starts in October. He's pitched more than he's ever pitched in his life, more innings, over 160 innings pitched. And the Brewers can counter with Chacin, who is their ace, but the real ace, Josh Hader, is in the bullpen and is rested. He can go 3 innings tomorrow. They needed, and the whole thing, Dylan, today was they needed to get to Hader early and get him in the game. Well, they didn't get him in the game.
That's why
the offense couldn't get him in the game.
That's why the result today is so disappointing. It's not so much that they lost, but they couldn't even force the Brewers to use their best relievers. They couldn't. There's somehow they managed to lose this game and allow Craig Counsell to have have his number 1 asset, like literally the most important player on his roster, ready to go tomorrow, and I think maybe possibly more than 3. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Hader pitch in to pick up a 10th out, an 11th out. I mean, this guy, when he is right, is dominant, and he's been fairly dominant in this series.
Jeffers said after the game that the Dodgers have all the pressure on them, and I believe it with this crowd, with the bullpen rested, with Buehler being a 24-year-old kid. Again, this will be a monumental for the Dodgers. Everybody says Dodgers are supposed to win this series. At this point, it'd be monumental if they win this series.
No, I think it kind of comes down to how players respond to that pressure, right? I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing. I mean, I kind of want pressure on Manny Machado. We've seen him kind of respond.
He could have gotten to Hader tonight, 2 runners on, and he grants 3 to struck out.
Which time?
The second time.
Oh, okay.
Fans booed him off the field.
Oh, boy. All right, Game 7 is tomorrow. Let's do some predictions. What do you got?
I'm sticking with the Dodgers.
Dodgers in 4. What do you got?
Dodgers in 5.
Dodgers in 5. Brewers in 7. And if it's possible, we will be back here on Sunday for Game 8. Thank you for reading all the coverage this year. It might end tomorrow. It might end 4 losses from now. But either way,
we might end at a World Series championship.
Yeah, it's true. I wrote matchup graphics today predicting them to beat the Red Sox. So you might read that in the paper if they win tomorrow at some point. Anyway, you can.
You're gonna pick them to lose to the Brewers, but beat the Red Sox.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm using my eyes and making judgments, and also
All right.
I just whatever.
Well, Adrian Gonzalez already called the Dodgers-Red Sox World Series.
Oh man. Well, on that note, thanks for reading. You can find all the coverage in the pages of the Los Angeles Times and also at latimes.com/Dodgers. We will see you tomorrow.